week of the regular season in ACC women's basketball begins tonight. Two old rivals, North Carolina and North Carolina State, set to do battle from historic Reynolds Coliseum in Raleigh, North Carolina. Good evening, everybody. Mike Hogwood here, along with Debbie Antonelli. Glad to have you with us for ACC women's basketball. Debbie, what a day we had outside here today in Raleigh. It was gorgeous. That means that tonight it's going to be hot and steamy here in Reynolds. But so what else is new with these two old rivals?
You're right, Mike. I mean, anytime two rivals get together, it's usually one for the record books, and it will create special memories. Let's see who's going to be on the plus side of the special memories.
Now, when we look at these two rosters, North Carolina has a really big size advantage.
There's no question North Carolina has a huge advantage on the interior. They're longer, they're taller. They are actually more active with that length. That's 6'6", 6'5", 6'3", 6'1", and North Carolina State will counter with 5'11" Bonet Holston on the inside as their center. So for NC State to have a chance, they've got to make the game vertical. They've got to score in their transition game. They've got to make North Carolina run the floor. And it's 85 degrees in here on the court right now. Big girls don't like to run in the heat, Mike. So if NC State can make North Carolina play small, they'll have an advantage.
And Debbie, I mentioned this is the last week of the regular season, so important, especially for North Carolina when you look at seeding for that tournament next week.
It's critical for North Carolina that they get a win. They want to stay as one of the top 4 teams for seeding in the ACC tournament. Because when you look at Duke, Florida State, and Miami ahead of them, they all look pretty good. But Georgia Tech and Maryland have some games in front of them that will give them a chance to move into that 4th spot. So this is critical for North Carolina.
And Debbie, if you're North Carolina, you really want to have your mojo going towards the end of the season. They didn't have it in their last game against Miami.
Well, Miami's got the 2 best guards in the league, and Shanice Johnson and Raquana Williams, and they played like it in that North Carolina game. But Sylvia Hatchell's had 8 days to prepare. So that means that they've been working on making shots, working on boarding it.
All right, we're ready to go. These two teams have played once this season, mid-January in Chapel Hill. The Tar Heels were winners there. What will happen tonight here in Raleigh? We'll find out as we're set for a Tobacco Road rivalry. North Carolina and NC State. The tip-off is straight ahead. Now ready to go here at Reynolds. North Carolina ranked 13th, 8-3 in league play. And we take a look at our Pepsi lineups, and 2 players who started last game not in the starting lineup tonight. That would be Waltia Roll and Jessica Breland. Tiara Ruffin-Pratt getting the start because of her rebounding ability. And you know those great guards, Luke Crafton Reed. For NC State, Maisha Goodwin-Coleman, the freshman, in now for her 6th straight start. Also another freshman, Cody Burke. But it's Bonet Holston, Amber White, and Marissa Kostanek who will lead the way. And Debbie, before we have our opening tip, let's get your keys to tonight's game.
North Carolina, it's about paint points, scoring inside with that strong, tall front line. And they got to make some shots around those bigs. For NC State, vertical points in their transition game, and see if they can make North Carolina play small. That's exactly what Kelly Harper's team did to Maryland and Brenda Freese's team in the first half. If they can do that, they'll have a chance.
Yeah, took a big lead in that game. Sylvia Hatchell, the head coach at North Carolina. Interesting, she's wearing, you see, that K-Yow patch, supporting her old friend, Debbie, who coached here for so many years. Those two were rivals and friends. And Kelly Harper, the head coach for NC State, now in her 2nd season.
Sylvia Hatchell told me before the game, it's not the same coming over here. And as soon as you come up the steps in Reynolds and you come into the arena, you see the banner of K-Yow hanging at the far end. And she misses her friend, she told me.
As we all do. Opening tip controlled by North Carolina. Brian Brunette, Benita Spence, Brian Interline, our officials here tonight.
NC State matching up.
Jay Shagag in the paint and gets the roll. Shagag with the first bucket of the night.
Should North Carolina decide to go to the interior, it could wear NC State out. They do not have a lot of depth and not a lot of size.
As you told us, Shagag is 6'5", a junior from Stafford, Virginia. Maisha Goodwin-Coleman can't hit her first shot, and North Carolina, which got out-rebounded by Miami, quickly on the break. There's Shagag, the offensive board. Here's Lucas. And And the putback by Broomfield, who's coming off one of her best games of her career.
Offensive rebounding, always an issue. North Carolina so good at crashing the glass. Oh, great find by Coleman.
And a whistle and a foul underneath. When Maisha Goodwin-Coleman went into the starting lineup, Debbie, she really did make a difference in this team.
Well, they go small, but they're quicker. And that was a great find, throwing the cross-court pass against the half-court pressure. It's back-to-back skip passes over the top NC State is throwing.
Bonet Holston at the line, a 5'11 junior out of Newport News, Virginia. She is amazing to me because 5'11 may be stretching it, but she holds her own with 6'4 and 6'5 players night after night after night. Been in double figures now for 23 straight games.
The key for Bonet's success is she plays the game lower than her opponent, which means she's always in a stance, always on balance, and strong around the rim.
Trying to get inside is Broomfield again. Ruffin Pratt knocked it out, but Marissa Kostanek down with it for NC State. Here comes the Wolfpack. This is White. That's what Amber White does so well, drive that ball to the bucket. Lucas picks up the fouler first.
You got to like the Wolfpack's mindset to start the basketball game. As North Carolina throws some half-court pressure on them, Kelly Harper's team is well prepared and looking to attack. You don't want to be passive. You want to make sure you attack the pressure.
With trouble getting the ball inbounds. Here's Holston. She loves that fadeaway shot. Nothing doing there. Here comes DeGraff and Reed. You talk about fast. Watch Sierra DeGraff and Reed. The feed. The Lucas doesn't finish it.
The Italy Lucas 0 for 3 to start the game. A way off three-point attempt and 2 missed layups. Not a good start for Italy.
White driving again. The kick out to Cody Burke. That was a 2, but boy, is this freshman starting to play well.
Mike, you look at Cody Burke. She's added 35 pounds to her frame since she stepped on campus. And you think, no, don't shoot that shot, but she's very capable of making that.
Tar Heels almost turned it over there. Not a good pass inside. Holston takes it away. Ahead it goes to Kostanek. I think she traveled. She did. But Debbie, Marissa Kostanek, who you saw there, had the game of her life against North Carolina when they played in Chapel Hill. She had 30 points in that game.
Mike, you talked about the rivalry. It's where memories are made. It's historical moments occur, and that's one for the books right there. 30 on the Tar Heels on the road.
Had 6 3-pointers in that game. You know, Kelly Harper would like a duplicate effort here tonight for the Wolfpack. Here's DeGraff and Reed.
Good help by Cody Burke to rotate out. I like that action by North Carolina. They got a good look.
Amber White takes it all the way, misses everything, but Burke is right there. Cody Burke now with 4 points.
I think Wolfpack fans are really starting to appreciate what Cody Burke brings to the floor. She works hard, she's competitive, she'll compete on each possession.
Shagag got her own rebound, Burke fouled her. Cody Burke's coming off 2 pretty good games, Debbie. She had a double-double at Georgia Tech and then against Virginia Tech, which was only the 2nd win in ACC play for NC State. Their last game, she had 11.7 rebounds.
Mike, I would say early on that NC State's one-shot defense has been good. But when you play North Carolina, you have got to box them out. You cannot let them get offensive boards all night because they will wear you out.
Well, we just saw a good rebounder come into the game. Jessica Breland, 6'3" center. Telford, North Carolina. Shagag makes 1 of 2.
I think it's a good substitution to let Italy Lucas sit down over there next to Charlotte Smith and Andrew Calder. Take a look and then get a chance to come back.
Shayla White also into the game for the Tar Heels. Still belong to NC State.
There's Italy and Charlotte Smith, one of the all-time greats in the history of North Carolina basketball. Number 23 in the rafters over at Carmichael.
Lucas last Sunday in the last game that NC State played, she was only 1 for 9 from 3. Has not been shooting the ball well lately. Kostanek left it short, and North Carolina's owned the boards here early.
Look at Shagag run hard, run to the middle, run to the rim.
McGough gets it inside to Breland, taken away by Bonet Holston. North Carolina's gone cold offensively. Kostanek, the three again, and again leaves it short. It's pretty much one and done for NC State. The Graffin-Reed. Last touch by Maisha Goodwin-Coleman.
Excellent defense in transition by the smallest player on the floor. Doesn't buy the DeGraffin-Reed fake. Gets the deflection. Allows NC State to set their defense off the dead ball entry.
Both teams making some substitutions while Tia Roll, a great shot blocker, is in for North Carolina. Brittany Strawn and Kelsey Littris is in the game for NC State. Littris is a player, Debbie, who hadn't played a lot of minutes.
Well, they're going to need her size, and they're going to need her bulk on the interior.
6'4" sophomore. Here's Krista Gross, who just came into the game. And North Carolina has missed its last 6 shots. Timeout on the floor. NC State up 1 on a very cold Tar Heel team. ACC Women's Basketball is brought to you by Honda, the Carolinas, by AT&T, by BB&T, and by Food Lion. Back in Raleigh for NC State freshman Cody Burke, who got only her 4th start of the year in ACC play, has answered the bell early.
She's 2 for 2. She's got 4 of the Wolfpack 6. She's been on the glass. She also has a pretty good face-up game, but most importantly, she's done a very nice job on the back row in their defensive rotations. And trying to keep North Carolina off the glass is a task for any post player in the ACC.
We really saw her breakout game on January the 10th against Wake Forest. Scored in double figures. She has been on fire lately. There's a long pass down to Holston. Bonet can't hit the turnaround roll. And it knocked out of bounds by Brittany Strawn, and it'll be Tar Heel basketball.
You know, it's a good call by Kelly Harper and her staff, knowing that North Carolina likes to overplay, and you anticipate the chance to go over the top.
Here's Shayla White. White for 3. Shayla White knocking it down. First 3 for either team.
And it allows North Carolina to set it their 1-3-1 half-court trap.
White only had 1 field goal last time out against Miami. Here's Littris. Oh, Kelsey Littris off the bench with a bucket. She'd only scored 4 points total in ACC play.
NC State doing a great job reversing the ball, showing composure against pressure.
Not that time for White, and Brittany Strawn down with the rebound. Strawn's coming off a game in double figures. Here's Gross inside the Roll. Roll can't hit it. Roll got it back. While Tia Roll, really nobody to match up with her at 6'6".
Kelly Harper was looking for a foul underneath the basket. When you've got North Carolina and their size, not only do you have to get into them and check them with your body, but you got to pursue the basketball.
Inside, Brittany Strawn. And again, Brittany coming off a double-figure game against Virginia Tech, which was a win for NC State. Graffin-Reed can't hit, and they're strong with the rebound.
And if you're NC State, that's exactly what your defense is designed to do. Force North Carolina to the perimeter. It's much easier to neutralize great post play than it is perimeter play. If you can get them to the outside, take away their ability to take advantage of their size.
Just to Gross, she's been in a bit of a shooting slump of late. Breland. Again, Jessica didn't get the start tonight, but off the bench, her first field goal.
And Breland makes it look so simple. A nice flash to the middle of the floor.
Littris baseline. for roll. Back to White. Nice ball movement by the Tar Heels.
NC State has to survive this game in segments. It's a good job by Maisha Goodwin-Coleman to play with some poise right here. Make sure you execute exactly what you need.
Here's Holston. Boy, Bonet Holston's had a tough time shooting the basketball so far in this first half. Holston's 0 for 4 to start.
NC State switching it up. Now they're in their man.
Breland going to work over Holston and hits.
Oh, North Carolina with a hot hand right now. 3 consecutive baskets.
And their largest lead at 6. Breland with 4. 2 consecutive baskets. Amber White, Cody Burke are coming back in. And Kelly Harper's called timeout.
I guess Kelly Harper didn't feel like she could wait for the media timeout, which would be in 19 seconds. So she calls timeout. This is just an in-your-face jump shot by a 6'3" post player with a high release and a high arcing shot.
And it's worth noting, I think, that Jessica Breland missed 3 games with a knee injury. She was really just working her way back into condition. Her first game back, she did have 22 points against Florida State, but only 6 points against Miami last Sunday. She's got 4 here.
Mike, I marvel at Jessica Breland even playing basketball and being back on the court after getting a surprise cancer diagnosis, missing all of last year with Hodgkin's lymphoma, plus the knee injury. She has willed her way back to the court. To me, that's very inspiring. It should be inspiring to the Tar Heel team.
And inspiring to all of us. And she does have to take frequent breaks.
Well, she's got some scar tissue built up in her lungs that, you know, I think temperature affects, certainly when it's cold. I wonder how she is when it's 85 degrees, because that's the court temperature in here.
Marissa Kostanek with her first field goal. Breaks a little drought from NC State. They need points from Kostanek tonight. Here's Lucas. Italy Lucas is yet to score. Cross trying to feed it inside the roll. Good defense by Cody Burke. Marissa Kostanek in Chapel Hill put 30 on the Tar Heels. Her first 2 right here to draw NC State to within 4.
North Carolina up 4 inside 12 in the first half, and this is how to beat the North Carolina pressure. Now take a look right here at North Carolina's defense. It's a 1-3-1. Okay, they got a backside person. And look at the spacing by the Wolfpack. They are all spread out. They got somebody in the middle. They've got the ability to reverse. They throw it down the line. And then the skip pass over the top. Here's the terrace over here in the corner. The skip pass, she steps into it, which allows her to step into her shot. Get her shot off quickly before North Carolina can recover. It's a great job offensively of attacking the North Carolina pressure.
So I'm working on that a little bit today in their shoot around. And there's Marissa Kostanek, sophomore out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Interesting that Kelsey Littress, who was a AAU teammate of Kostanek's in Nebraska, here and playing a big role tonight. And that's first bucket of the game for Italy Lucas.
A tough 2 for Italy Lucas off the out-of-bounds play. Maybe that will get her going.
Inside Burke. Cody Burke's got 6.
Every time we see her play, Mike, she seems to be learning how to utilize her body, how to shape up to the basketball, how to get great position inside. It takes some time for freshmen to learn that.
Broomfield. North Carolina, Debbie, has now hit 5 shots in a row. They are red hot.
And Laura Broomfield is coming off that double-double against Miami, 18 and 15 boards. Mike, I think she's the one player that you don't spend a lot of time talking about. The coaches are starting to move up the scouting report.
Debbie, she's got 2 double-doubles in a row. She had one against Clemson as well. It's Brittany Strawn nails a 3. Boy, that was huge for NC State.
And then a great hustle play defensively by Strong.
Boy, she came to play tonight.
Look at Burke. She's got position at the rim. And see, Amber White missed her.
Amber White, that's a 2 if it goes. Fouls on Broomfield, that's her first. Breezy Williams into the state lineup for the first time. Holston is back. Look at the last 2 games for Broomfield, just what you were talking about, Debbie. And look how efficient she has been from the field. 6 for 9, 8 for 12 in her last 2 games. Here's Williams just in the game.
It's hard to get in the game without a sweat and jack up a shot.
The no look to DeGraff and Reed. Ruff and Pratt. Nothing doing. NC State down with it.
One-shot defense by the Wolfpack, not allowing an offensive rebound.
NC State toughening up on defense, and there's the travel. It'll be Wolfpack basketball. Aisha Goodwin-Coleman giving Brittany Strawn a well-deserved rest. Boy, she's played well. Halfway through this first half here in Raleigh. Holston open over Shagag. Boy, it has not been Bonet's night. She's now 0 for 6.
Look at that rebound by Broomfield.
Lucas in the paint.
Boy, Broomfield is active and committed to boarding. She understands what her role is, and she's trying to pursue the basketball. Watch Broomfield on the weak side. Amber White's got position, but Broomfield battles. She's longer and taller.
And as you said, coming off such a great game, but other than Broomfield, I don't think any of the other post players were happy with what they did in that game against Miami. You know they've worked hard in practice this week.
Well, Mike, they knew they had an advantage that they didn't take advantage of.
Nice pass down to Lucas inside.
It's the second time they've run that same out-of-bounds play. Lucas gets it right back.
Here's Burke trying to drive on roll. Got a little quickness on Waltia, but just missed the shot. DeGraff and Reed. Good ball movement. Look at Lucas with the ball fake, and Italy's got 6.
North Carolina gets in their lane, and they run.
Amber White takes it all the way to the rim. That's her first bucket tonight.
Look at Italy Lucas running her lane on the right side of the floor.
Waltia roll. My goodness. Cody Burke, great defense.
I think roll hit the side of the backboard.
Debbie, Amber White is taking that ball and attacking the basket on almost every possession here.
If you let Amber White to get a full head of steam, she plays like she's running downhill. She's strong, she's powerful, and she knows she can get to the free throw line on North Carolina's guards.
She's coming off a really solid game in that win over Virginia Tech. 17 points, 5 assists, and a couple of steals.
Amber White's a fifth-year senior. The Achilles injury, missed a year, back 100%.
See the rebounding numbers heavily in favor of North Carolina here in this first half. You talk about Amber White, she's got something to prove against North Carolina too. She was only 1 for 12 when they met in mid-January.
You have to have guard play against North Carolina.
Great ball fake by Lucas. Gross the rebound. Now here comes Amber White again. Watch her attack the basket.
While everyone's jogging back for North Carolina, Amber White is sprinting right by them.
And you know where she's going. She's done that the last 4 possessions. Good pass inside the roll. White got a hand on it. NC State back up with it. Wolfpack can take the lead right here with a bucket.
Shoot it.
Inside to Holston. Bonet Holston gives NC State the lead, and that gets the crowd on its feet here at Reynolds.
Great recognition by Amber White. mismatch inside and took advantage.
Freeland wasn't close with that shot. Breezy Williams for three.
See, that's not Breezy's game.
It's so enticing, though, when you're open.
There's a reason why you're open.
Absolutely. White again drives to the bucket and hits. Nobody able to stop Amber White. Debbie, she's just taken it to the basket. Timeout on the floor. Amber White single-handedly has given NC State the lead. Back in Reynolds, and Debbie, during our break here, young Blair Williams, who's a high school student here, boy, what a job she did raising some money for the KL Cancer Fund.
That's back-to-back years that Blair has put together a program at Athens Drive High School right here locally in Raleigh and helped raise money for the KL Cancer Fund. That's Blair in the middle with her mom. And I know Coach Al's looking down smiling. She loves playing in this rivalry game with North Carolina more than any game she played in.
I still say maybe the most emotional game that I've ever been a part of was the night when they put those letters on this court, and they named it KL Court. And North Carolina was #2 in the nation. They said NC State had no chance to win that night, yet for their coach, I've never seen a group of players lay it out on the line like the Wolfpack did that night, and they came away with a miraculous win for their coach, KL.
I'm not sure there was a finer moment in Coach Al's career than the perfect storm of the court, the 5 seniors scoring in double figures and beating her favorite team to play against, North Carolina, as a #2 team in the country.
Amber White had a great first half, completes the three-point play, and State's now on an 11-0 run.
Mike, except for we go to the ACC tournament and Duke's #1 and undefeated.
Yeah, that was another great moment. But here in Reynolds, that was the moment that stands out to me.
Yes. And you know what? You see the spirit of these events of KL inside these kids, and a lot of times in moments like this, when you watch how hard they're fighting, and how hard they're fighting for Kelly Harper and her staff as well.
North Carolina has missed 5 shots in a row. They were really hot there for a moment.
And for a young coach, Kelly Harper has respected the tradition of KL and shown a lot of respect for her memory.
The error up in Pratt. That was not a good pass. Strong's back in the game. Here's Breezy Williams taking it to the bucket.
That's Breezy Williams' game. Put it on the floor. Use your athleticism and your bounce.
And Debbie, that's something that NC State hasn't seen out of Breezy Williams in about 2 or 3 games.
It's about shot selection for Breezy. She'll learn.
Boy, what a turnaround here in this first half.
Remember, Mike, Duke and NC State in here earlier in the year.
Not that time for Williams. Look at Strong. Just take it away and put it back. Sylvia Hatchell's going to kick a timeout. She doesn't like what she's seeing from her team, but this is a inspired NC State Wolfpack. Now with their largest lead of the game at 8.
Sylvia Hatchell right now coaching effort. And Breezy Williams off the bounce doing what she does well. And Brittany Strawn, again, another player for NC State off the bench. They only go about 7 deep, but loose basketball, and she finishes it around the rim.
Yeah, I mean, North Carolina had a 7-point lead, and you were talking about playing this game in segments, and things were looking a little dangerous for NC State, and they have completely turned the momentum around. North Carolina hadn't scored a point in 3 minutes. They've missed their last 7 shots. That's going to be a foul on Aisha Goodwin-Coleman. That's her first. Holston back in for Cody Burke. Shea Shagog returning to the Tar Heel lineup.
Let's see if NC State can get Bonet Holston going offensively. She's their leading scorer and rebounder on the season. NC NC State shows zone, but they're in man.
Lucas got an open look. Italy has really struggled from 3. That's a held ball. Possession arrow to NC State.
Yeah, that's twice that Italy Lucas hasn't even drawn iron outside the arc. I think Italy's got to find a way to get an easy one. Get out in transition. Get to the offensive boards. Do something with your defense.
Debbie, in their last 2 games, 3 for 10 from 3 against Clemson, 1 for 9 from 3 against Miami. She's been much, much better than that in her career.
NC State guard play has been very solid. They haven't turned it over. They're being very composed out front.
That is blocked by Breland.
Jessica Breland, one of the best shot blockers in the history of North Carolina basketball, 3rd on the all-time list.
Goodwin Coleman steps out, nails it through.
See, that's a wise choice. Very smart. Understanding your own personnel, because if she passes that to Breezy, she might shoot it. And Maisha Goodwin Coleman's a better 3-point threat.
Carolina crashes the boards, and that's going to be a foul on Tiara Ruffin-Pratt. It'll be her first.
Watch Maisha Goodwin Coleman. She's going to come in bounds, and she's going to dribble. Now, Breezy Williams is open, but she's going to walk right by her and spot up. Miscommunication by North Carolina.
Strong. Got the 3. Debbie, it's a 21-0 run for NC State. My goodness. 21 unanswered points off the 3 for Brittany Strong.
I don't blame Sylvia Hatchell for being upset with her team. Look how wide open Brittany Strong is. North Carolina is not in a stance. They're not fighting through screens or fighting around. They're not given the kind of effort that the number 13 team in the country should be given. And look at Sylvia Hatchell. That is the 2nd time she's had to call a timeout and coach effort. And how about a little pride in the rivalry, Mike?
Debbie, North Carolina led this game 24-17. It's 38-24.
NC State is making wide open shots, uncontested shots, making the right choices, the right people taking shots.
This is amazing. 21 unanswered. Here's DeGraff and Reed, and that breaks a long drought for North Carolina.
Kelly Harper was in the paper today talking about how hard her team has committed to working. They don't quit. Even when you look at their record, they have not given in.
Tara DeGraff and Reed, the senior, trying to lead the Tar Heels back. Couldn't finish on that layup. Williams, boy, she's got some explosion. She was really upset not making that basket underneath. And the pass too tall.
This is as animated and fired up as I have seen Sylvia Hatchell in a long time. And I don't blame her. She told me before the game she was hoping that somebody on her team would bring some emotional level to this game, and I haven't seen it yet. I don't think she's seen it either.
Debbie, NC State has taken care of the basketball, only 1 turnover in this first half.
Mike, is that going to be one of the first things Sylvia Hatchell's going to look at on the stat sheet? She's going to look at rebounds. She's going to say, we've turned them over once. Where is the defense?
What an amazing first half. Here's Kostanek for 3.
And for Kelly Harper right now, she can get any shot she wants in her offense.
Shayla White back in for North Carolina. Sylvia Hatchell trying to find a combination that will work at both ends of the floor. Amber White almost got the steal. White. What a big shot from Shayla White, her second 3 of the half.
Shayla White came to play for Sylvia Hatchell.
Got 8 points here in the first half. Kostanek wide open. DeGraff and Reed, that's double dribble on Tara DeGraff and Reed. 3:29 to go in the first half. NC State's offense has been lighting it up from behind the arc. They're up 38-29. ACC Women's Basketball is brought to you by Blimpie, by Gatorade, by Geico, and by Pepsi. Oh, nighttime in Raleigh, and they're happy inside Reynolds. Brittany Strong with 10, Amber White with 9 to lead NC State. Down 7 at one point in this half, now on top by 9.
I think that little girl likes Marissa Kostanek.
I think she does. There's Amber White, who has 9 points, 3 assists. Smiles all around right now for NC State. We saw them do this in the first half against Maryland, but now they've got to sustain it. This will do right here on this court against Duke. Good one, Coleman for 3.
Boy, wide open outside the arc. NC State's missed their last couple of tries. North Carolina playing a little bit of sagging man.
You're right, Debbie. Those shots have been wide open.
Actually, North Carolina looks like they're in a box and 1.
Offensive rebound to Holston. Coming into that possession, Carolina had out-rebounded State by 10 here in the half. Amber White taking on DeGraff and Reed. Holston again the offensive rebound. Boy, the shot's not falling right now for NC State. After being so red hot, NC State missed a couple. And Sylvia Hatchell has not been happy this half at all with her Tar Heels. 2.5 to go here in the first half. Ruffin Pratt inside. Broomfield. Laura Broomfield continues to be a bright spot for North Carolina.
I've got North Carolina with 11 offensive rebounds.
White open for a moment into Holston.
Now, Amber White understands who to get it to, when and where. The 3 W's of a good point guard.
Bonet now with 6 in the half. Under 2 minutes to play. DeGraff and Reed. Boy, she's had a tough half shooting it.
You know, I think Shea Shagag needs to work a little harder to get better position and shape up to the basketball. The guards need to work on their angle of entry.
Goodwin Coleman looked like she just shoveled that up there, but got her own rebound. Good hustle by the freshman. Cody Burke for 3.
That's her 3rd three-pointer of the season.
She's got 9 first half points.
Mike, you look at her and you go, no way, don't shoot that.
It's one of those, if you're the coach, you go, no, 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 no. Yes.
Let's see if Shagag is going to continue to work, because you know what happens to big girls? If you don't throw it in there once in a while, they get tired of working.
Shayla White has had a tremendous first half. She's in double figures now with 10. 10-point game, under a minute to go. Holston. Bonet Holston nails a shot.
The bigs for NC State, if you will. The post players, anyway. Watch Bonet Holston just circle around, face up. Nobody guarding her. North Carolina in some junk defense, and they are not communicating. They are not connected at all on the defensive end, and it has allowed NC State to find some open shots. Look at that, Mike. I mean, the most points they've scored all season and a half? You're kidding.
This is a team that averages right at 75 a game. Well, they're on track to bust by that, and there's Bonet Holston, who's been in double figures, a career-high 23 straight games. She's had 8 double-doubles this year, been such a big part of this state team. And she had not shot the ball well until the last couple of minutes. Final minute of the first half. NC State playing inspired here at home.
Oh, what a play.
Kostanek, she lost the handle. Oh, she couldn't believe it. It was a great defensive play.
It was a great outlet off the steal.
And that's only the second turnover of the half. We're under 30 seconds to play.
That's an unforced error.
Lucas inside Shagag. Over Holston. Can't get it to go. It'll belong to Carolina with just under 12 seconds left.
Well, North Carolina would love to get some momentum going into the halftime, because I got a feeling Sylvia Hatchell is going to absolutely wear the paint off the wall when they get down there to the bottom of Reynolds.
Yeah, you don't want to be near that locker room.
That's a long walk down and a long walk back.
White can't hit it. Shagag still got a couple of seconds. Needed to shoot that. Sylvia Hatchell was calling for her to shoot the basketball. She didn't do it. And who would have thought NC State on top here by 12, 45 to 33, especially when you consider they were down 7 points in this first half, then went on a 20-plus point run, and now have held on to that double-digit lead.
And NC State did it with balanced scoring, attacking on the offensive end. They didn't just settle to break North Carolina's pressure early on. They looked for scoring opportunities off it. And their defense on the inside, their one-shot defense has been terrific. If they could keep North Carolina off the offensive glass, they'd stretch this lead even further. If they can do that in the second half, they got a chance.
Yeah, but there's still another half to play, and North Carolina State bidding for the upset. But you know there's going to be some heated talk in that Tar Heel locker room here at halftime. We're back to Reynolds in just a moment. ACC Women's Basketball is brought to you by Wendy's, by AT&T, by BB&T, and by Food Lion. NC State went on a 21-0 run here in the first half. Now lead it by 12 here at the break, 45 to 33. Mike Hogwood, Debbie Antonelli with you now. And Debbie, I tell you, I'm stunned a little bit at what the turnaround in this game.
I'm stunned. I mean, I haven't seen a 21-0 run without a response. North Carolina missed 10 consecutive shots, and that was over a span of about 4 minutes and 20 seconds that NC State was able to mount this double-digit lead. Very impressive. Brittany
Strawn had 10, Amber White had 9. The freshman Cody Burke, awfully impressive. She had 9 as well.
You know, we've been talking about the bigs for North Carolina, and it's really the interior game for NC State that has won in the first half. Cody Burke, the freshman, bringing the big girls from North Carolina away from the basket. It's 85 degrees in here. Those North Carolina big girls don't want to run the floor, and they don't want to guard on the perimeter.
Debbie, let's look at the first half stats. Go down to the turnover column and look at NC State. 2 turnovers in that first half.
And they handled and managed North Carolina's changing defense. We saw some half-court trapping. We saw some man. We saw some zone. We saw some junk. Didn't matter what North Carolina played. If you're not committed to bringing energy and effort with your defense, NC State's going to have a horse contest.
I thought there were 2 bright spots for North Carolina. Laura Broomfield had 9 rebounds in that first half. And off the bench, Shayla White, 10 points. Boy, you think where they would be without her.
Well, she was terrific from the top of the key. She knocked down a couple of triples. Off the bench, Shayla White bringing the kind of energy and effort to keep North Carolina within striking distance. I thought Shayla White's decision-making, her shot selection, all of that was good. Plus, I thought she brought effort on the defensive end.
And another stat that I absolutely had to look twice at. NC State has 7 steals in the first half. North Carolina has none.
And North Carolina averages 12 steals a game, and one of the best in the nation. So their defense has to decide that they're going to get stops and not allow NC State to take uncontested shots. Instead of those threes, what North Carolina needs to make NC State do is take some tough twos.
And again, an incredible run here in the first half by the Wolfpack. The freshman, Maisha Goodwin-Coleman, nailing a 3 from behind the arc. ACC Women's Basketball is brought to you by Blimpie, by Gatorade, by Geico, and by Pepsi. Good shot of downtown Raleigh. NC State, for the first time this year, has scored 45 points in a half. The most points they have scored in a half all year. Well, Debbie, we've talked about this being the last week of the regular season. Next week with this time, we're getting ready for the ACC tournament in Greensboro. And then it's on to March Madness for the women. And it's going to be interesting, I think, to see how many teams we can get in to the NCAA tournament from the ACC.
Well, you look at this list of ACC teams, you see the teams that are ranked. Well, that doesn't mean anything in factoring into who gets into the tournament because that's subjective. But what does matter is this line over here, the top 50 in the RPI. Duke right now has the third most wins in the top 50 of all teams in NCAA Division I basketball. The one that you worry about is Boston College, the last one. Can they get some more quality wins on their resume? They have Maryland left. They've got some chance in the ACC tournament. So they control their own destiny.
Let me tell you, if it's the Boston College team I saw yesterday on the road at Virginia, they're going to get some wins down the stretch, and they're going to be NCAA worthy. Debbie, we talk a lot about players who make a difference every year in the ACC, and you have your list of scoreboard changers.
That's right, Mike. The scoreboard changers are those that score and add some offense, that change the game on the offensive end. They make the scoreboard operators move the switch a lot. These players right here are fantastic players inside the ACC. I went with 5. Shanice Johnson and Raquana Williams lead the ACC in scoring. Jasmine Thomas is more of a changer on the defensive end that turns defense into offense. Lynetta Kaiser, I think, is the hardest working block-to-block post player, the best option to score inside. Italy Lucas, we haven't seen her best play in the first half, Mike, but we know she's certainly capable of a gigantic second half.
I'm not going to ask you for your vote right now, but will the player of the year come out of those 5?
Absolutely. I'll give you my vote right now.
Go ahead.
It's Shanice Johnson at Miami, and I also think Katie Myers the coach of the year.
Well, you heard it
last week.
I tend to agree with you. All right, we're at halftime here. NC State bidding for an upset, 45-33 over the Tar Heels. 8 players played in the first half for NC State. 8 players got on the scoreboard. Packs up 12. Second half on the way from Raleigh. Ready to go in the second half. Debbie, I'm not sure I wanted to be in that Tar Heel locker room at halftime with Sylvia Hatchell. She still looks upset.
I've seen Coach Hatchell upset many times, but not usually that early in a basketball game. So let's see what kind of effort and energy her team comes out of the locker room with, because they got to make up a double-digit deficit here, and their defense in the first half was not good.
There are not many teams that have gone on a 21-0 run on North Carolina. Lucas misses the first shot of the half. She is still cold from outside.
Well, that was definitely a play by design, going for the home run.
Broomfield a rebound. She's now got 10 rebounds in the game. DeGraff and Reed just explodes to the bucket.
And see, North Carolina missed a lot of shots around the rim in the first half, only shooting 34%. If they make those in the second half, it's a different story.
Shagag got a hand on it. Well, I'll tell you what, North Carolina came out with a lot of energy. There's Shayla White on the bench. She was the leading scorer for NC State. Brittany Strong also came off the bench for State. White, of course, playing for North Carolina. Here's Kostanek.
Tiara Ruffin-Pratt getting a start in the second half for rebounding purposes. She averages more rebounds than points.
Ruffin-Pratt, they leave her wide open. As you say, sometimes there's a reason for that. And Broomfield is fouled by Bonet Holston.
Well, Tiara Ruffin-Pratt now would be 4 for 30 on the season outside the arc. I'm not sure that was a wise choice, since it didn't draw any iron. Put it on the floor and take it hard to the basket.
Laura Broomfield with 2 consecutive double-doubles coming into this game. Now 7 points and 10 rebounds.
I tell you, Broomfield is active. She's long. She averages 3.5 offensive rebounds a game.
Makes 1 of 2 from the line.
You know, with all these All-Americans that North Carolina has on their roster, Broomfield's not one of them, but she certainly is playing with tremendous effort.
Burke has her shot blocked by Shagag. And here comes DeGraff and Reed quickly down the other end. Lucas. Well, I tell you what, North Carolina really needs Italy Lucas to find her shot. Lucas today just 3 for 11 from the field.
Well, she's their best three-point shooter by percentage. She's their leading scorer, Mike, and in the first half, she only had 6 points. But we know Italy Lucas is capable of dropping 25 on a half. We've seen her do it.
Burke again has her shot blocked as Shagog and Broomfield have come out playing with a lot of energy down low. Here's the Graffin Reed. Ruffin Pratt to drive, and her shot is blocked by Cody Burke.
But at least they attacked on the inside and put pressure on NC State's front line. This is not a deep front line for NC State.
Holston over Broomfield. One and done for the Wolfpack. With Graffin Reed upset herself, she lost it. Look at Cody Burke run the floor. Kostanek wanted a foul. She fell hard down to the floor. Lucas the other way. And Italy Lucas now with 8 points. There was a lot of contact down on the other end.
Yes, there was. And North Carolina gets out on a break in transition. That will be a way for them to make up some of this deficit if they can get out in transition as well, besides getting stops.
Coleman can't hit, and Shagog another rebound. Tell you what, Shea Shagog has come out ready to play here in the second half. The Graffin Reed. Look at Broomfield, another rebound. That was her 12th. Ahead to Kostanek. That was a great pass to Marissa Kostanek.
She just flat out outworked and outran everybody in a blue uniform. That's great individual effort by Kostanek.
First points of the second half for NC State.
I know that is not going to make Sylvia Hatcher very happy. That will.
Ruffin Pratt, a great job attacking the basket and then passing down low to Broomfield. Aisha Goodwin-Coleman can't hit the runner. Held ball, possession arrow to NC State.
Marissa Kostanek, watch her run ahead of the basketball on the break. Okay, look right here. They're all about it the same. Now watch as the tape rolls forward. I see 4 jerseys in blue jogging, and Sylvia Hatchell is not going to like that on film tomorrow.
And she's brought some fresh players in. Shayla White, double-figure score in the first half's in the game. Krista Gross is also in now for North Carolina.
North Carolina's got to dig in right here. They got to get in the stance. They got to rebound and get out on the break.
NC State 1 for 10 field goals here in this second half. Here's Lucas over White. Offensive rebound, Breland, Jessica Breland. Senior puts it home. And the Tar Heels are within 5. Kostanek. And NC State started out cold here in this second half.
Well, Marissa Kostanek needs to keep shooting.
Bonet Holston. And she's fouled in the paint by Jessica Breland. It'll be the first foul on Breland. But North Carolina battling their way back here, down 5 here in the second half. NC State shooting just 1 for 11 in the second half. And Debbie, if you want to come back in your team like North Carolina, you're going to rely on your seniors, and that means leaders like Jessica Breland.
Well, Breland in the first half did a nice job getting herself open, creating some separation, knocking down some face-up jump shots. And here in the second, she hits her first basket. Nice work on the offensive glass. She hits her first attempt.
The first time these two teams played in mid-January, Breland came close to a double-double, 10 points, 9 rebounds. But that one put the Tar Heels to within 5. It was a 12-point NC State lead at halftime.
And And I think when you're Jessica Breland, this is exactly the kind of moments that you rehabbed and worked yourself back into condition so that you could make a difference on the floor. This is the kind of moment that you strive for. While you're rehabbing, this is what you think about.
Inside Bonet Holston for NC State. She's now in double figures.
Good execution on the out-of-bounds play.
Here's Lucas. Still not falling for Italy.
Oh, great position at the rim.
But Holston couldn't finish, and look at NC State scramble for the loose ball. Possession arrow to North Carolina.
Bonet Holston may be undersized for Kelly Harper, but man, she does a great job getting early position against the North Carolina bigs.
DeGraff and Reed back for Lucas. Lucas sits down just 4 for 13 here in this game tonight. Debbie, some good news. It does seem to have cooled down a little bit in here. It was awfully hot when this game began. 85 degrees in this arena.
They got any windows in Reynolds?
Breland feeding inside. Look at the defense by NC State. Took it right away. Goodwin Coleman.
NC State shot selection, their poise and composure.
I think they're going to have to take a look at this one. The initial signal was it was a 2. Ryan Brunette and Brian Enderline going to the monitor. That is awfully close. I'm not sure you can tell from that angle.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Myasha Goodwin Coleman has a 3 in the game in the first half. There are only points here tonight. And that 3 would be a big one. We've seen NC State play great halves against Maryland and Duke, and in both of them, the Terps and the Blue Devils came back in the second half. So buckets like this are huge. That is a 2-point bucket by Goodwin Coleman, the freshman.
You have to be sure before you can change it.
Puts the Wolfpack lead back up to 9. Ruff and Pratt. The kick out to Breland. Boy, she's got a sweet arch on that shot. 8 points for Jessica.
Look at Breland at the 6'3", with that 6'3" frame to the top of that zone.
Goodwin Coleman's feeling it. Looks like sometimes he just shoves it up there, but it's a very effective shot. Shayla White taking it all the way to the bucket. She hits the deck hard.
That's a great take by Shayla White in transition to put pressure on NC State. Attack. You've got them on their heels.
Marissa Kostanek with the foul. That's her second. And it'll send Shayla White to the free throw line.
Mike, North Carolina appears to be running with a better purpose. They're trying to change the tempo. They're trying to force NC State to have to play faster.
North Carolina now 2 for 5 from the foul line as a team in the game. On the other end, NC State has not missed a free throw. They're 5 for 5.
Well, you know, I say NC State playing faster. I think NC State would be perfectly comfortable playing at that fast tempo.
White missed them both. Last touch by NC State. It'll belong to North Carolina. Ruff and Pratt to inbound the basketball. Tierra struggled a bit offensively. 0 for 5, but she's not in there for a scoring or rebounding. Graff and Reed is off also struggled with her shot here tonight. Ruffin Pratt drives again, still open. Boy, Tierra's just had a tough time. And now she's whistled for a foul. And that'll be her second. She does have 5 rebounds, and that's the reason she's in the game.
North Carolina extending their pressure. NC State still doing a pretty good job taking care of the basketball. They haven't turned it over in the second half yet.
Holston, that's a tough shot over roll. Look at Breland sky for the rebound. Here's White. She's open for 3. 3 threes for Shayla White.
Great choice by White. She's getting their motor going in transition. Zone by North Carolina again with Breland at the top.
Here's Amber White missing. Inside roll. That's what happens when you're 6'6". Nothing that the 6'2" strong could do about it.
Well, when you're 6'6" and you catch it that close. And Tierra Ruffin Pratt making a better decision in transition right here. Don't settle for the jumper. Attack and make Bonet Holston play you. That allows roll time to get inside.
This roll to the free throw line. Tina 72% from the line. Nothing going there. And it's a 2-point game now. North Carolina has erased his 12-point deficit. Holston fouled on the shot. Bonet will go to the line for 2.
Look at Holston, keeps the ball high on the rebound and doesn't bring it back down. That's how she draws the foul. NC State just scrappy, Mike, sticking in there. Up 2, you know, you look on paper and you say, no way, NC State should be in this game. And certainly not have a 12-point first half lead, but their heart and hustle. Hard to measure.
11 points now for Bonet.
I think North Carolina is starting to show signs of why they're the number 13 team in the country, though. Their depth.
Yeah, they've out-rebounded NC State in this game. Broomfield down with another one. She's got 14 rebounds. White. Oh, my. Hit the back iron and just kind of deadened its way in. That is the 4th 3 today for Shayla White. She's got a new ACC high of 16 points.
You get those to fall, that means you're living right.
Roll. Down with the rebound, and now North Carolina could take the lead here. The Graffenreid. The 3 tied it. White to give him the lead. She does. Oh, Shayla White is on fire. 5 threes. A career night tonight for White. And the Tar Heels are up 3. Timeout. NC State. Shayla White with a new season high today. And she's been on fire from behind the arc. She is 5 for 7 from 3. Tracy Smith from the NC State men's team. He's texting his friends, we got a great game going in Reynolds. You need to be here. Or at least watching it on TV. Let's take a look at our ACC AT&T schedule update. Debbie, this is the final week of the regular season. We got a lot of games on Thursday.
Looking forward to that Florida State-Miami. Florida State won the first meeting between those two. And, of course, that might impact seeding in the ACC tournament. Looking forward to that game, and Georgia Tech beat North Carolina the first time those two teams met, so that's a rematch of that one as well.
The score here in the second half, 22-7 in favor of North Carolina.
Shayla White, Mike, with those 5 threes. She only had 7 in conference play coming into the game.
Well, that's a career high for her. And the 19 points are also a career high.
Let's see if North Carolina will continue to go to her.
Breezy Williams on a drive and a much-needed bucket for NC State. The Wolfpack hanging tough, drawing it within 1.
That is Breezy Williams' skill set right now, and she needs to go to that. Work on her ability outside the arc in the offseason.
Now it's Williams who's guarding Shayla White. Tried to save it, weren't able to do it. 10:51 to go. North Carolina is taking the lead. Breezy Williams keeping the Wolfpack within 1 point. North Carolina up a point, and they can thank 5'5" junior Portsmouth, Virginia, Shayla White. Our Gatorade plays of the game. 3 threes, Debbie, in the second half.
I love Shayla White's shot selection. I like that she's seeking offense when her team needs it. One of the many weapons and All-Americans that Sylvia Hatchell can bring off the bench for her club, and Shayla White has delivered.
And speaking of bench, in bench points in this game, North Carolina has outscored NC State 31-16. 19 of those points coming from that young lady, Shayla White.
Now for NC State, Marissa Kostanek on the other side, though, Mike. 0 for 6 outside the arc. Kostanek, their best three-point shooter. She needs to get in rhythm.
And Kostanek, who had 30 against Carolina first time they played, only has 4 here tonight.
She'll go to the point position.
Breezy Williams, nice ball fake. And Breezy Williams drawing the foul. The freshman from Durham will go to the line for 2.
A terrific shot fake outside the arc, and North Carolina bites. And Breezy puts it on the floor and gets to the free throw line. Again, very much inside her skill set.
Williams, 59% from the free throw line. Kelsey Littress, who played briefly in the first half, had a bucket coming in for Bonet Holston. Littress 6'4". Adds a little size to that Wolfpack lineup. Roll the rebound. North Carolina has out-rebounded NC State by 13 here in this game tonight. White. Breezy Williams being up on it. Roll, shoots it over Littress, and Kelsey picks up her first foul.
Kelsey down there playing behind Roll. When she catches it away from the basket like that, you don't want to foul her. Well, Tia Roll is going to have to be able to make a post move from that position.
Roll, by statistics, a good free throw shooter.
Well, what Roll is a very good defender at protecting the rim. Good shot blocker. 7 block shots against Duke in a game earlier this season.
North Carolina from the foul line is just 2 for 8. Boy, didn't look comfortable on either one of those. Here's Strong. Strong, White, and Burke, who all 3 scored big in the first half. None of the 3 have scored here in the second. Here's White on the drive, and she's fouled.
Oh, what a great take by Amber White. She gets the switch, ends up with a big on her, and you take her to the basket. That being Breland.
Foul is on White. It's her first.
5'6". Amber White taking on 6'3" Breland off the bounce.
She's not afraid of anybody.
You know what, Mike? She is fearless. And with that compact game she has, that tight ball on the way to the rim, it's hard to knock it out of her hand. You can't bump her off her path. She's too strong.
But still, Amber White with 9, Brittany Strong with 10, Cody Burke with 9, and still none of them have scored here in this second half. And that'll belong to North Carolina. Under 10 minutes to play. Tar Heels are up by a point as Lucas is back for DeGraff and Reed.
And Italy Lucas hasn't made a three. Italy Lucas for North Carolina and Marissa Kostanek for NC State are the players that you expected to make shots outside the arc.
Lucas from the field, 4 for 14. Breland had an advantage over the smaller White. Rough and crack. Boy, she has just had a tough night.
Wow, Sylvia Hatchell now saying, where's the foul? You got a lot of chances at that.
Strong's open for three, nails it. 3 threes for Brittany Strong. And that gives NC State the lead back.
Well, Strong hits a three, and then she sprints back to get in position. Good skip pass in transition. NC State looking to attack, the right person taking shots on the break outside the arc.
Brittany Strong, the senior from Kernersville. Off the bench has been the leader for NC State. Here's Breland against Strong. Missed it. Breezy Williams down with it. NC State with the ball now and the lead. Amber White. And she's fouled. It is tough to stop Amber White when she gets up that head of steam.
I'm telling you, Mike, when she looks like she's playing downhill, she gets going. Wow, that was close. I don't know, but look at Amber White. She didn't even blink. Shea Shagag falls. Amber White says, I'm going to the free throw line. That didn't hurt.
Amber White, senior.
You remember in that Maryland game, early in the second half, she had a collision right in front of us, ended up with a separated shoulder, and she has playing through that. It's sore. It's not 100%, but hey, this is your senior year. This is a big game. You don't want to miss an opportunity like this.
That was last touched by North Carolina. It'll belong to the Wolfpack. Well, Amber White knows what it's like to fight back from injury. She missed all of the 08-09 season with an Achilles injury. Monet Holston. Breland the rebound. Carolina's running.
Good outlet by Breland.
Italy Lucas now in double figures with 10 points. Tar Heels draw to within 1. Kostanek on the floor. Nice runner by Marissa Kostanek.
Maybe that will get the sophomore, last year's ACC player, freshman of the year going.
She is the top scoring sophomore in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Marissa Kostanek. Breezy Williams went for the steal, got a hand on it. Goodwin Coleman coming in for Breezy Williams. And she got big props from her coach coming out of the game. She did play well. Breland wide open. Holston the rebound. Shagag fouls her. That's going to be the 3rd foul on Shagag. And now I think North Carolina State, at least I have it, they're going to be in the bonus. 8:08 left. Debbie, what's impressed me about NC State is they've been able to withstand this run from North Carolina. North Carolina gave them a pretty good shot here at the outset of the second half.
And they have had a little bit of a punch back, but they're going to need a bigger punch in the last 8 minutes to withstand North Carolina's depth and their size on the inside, especially when Carolina gets to making that quick outlet and running the lanes hard.
Monet Holston will get the bonus. She's 4 for 5 from the line in the game. Wickers back to give Burke a break right before the media timeout.
Right. And Kelly Harper told us that today at shoot-around, that it was important not necessarily to rest Kostanek. She believes she can play 40 easily, but to take care of Monet Holston and Cody Burke around the media timeouts.
Well, you saw those numbers on your screen for Monet Holston. Now with her 12th double-double of the year, and she got the rebound, another one. She's got 11 rebounds here tonight. White will pull it back out to Kostanek. Ahead it goes to Lucas. It's just not falling for Italy Lucas tonight.
It might not be her night. But there's plenty of time for a shooter like Lucas to get hot.
Holston. Fearless. Look at Kostanek. Got the offensive rebound. Couldn't follow it. How about Amber White? Took it away from Waltia Roll. What a defensive play by the Wolfpack senior guard. Only 5'6", a foot shorter than Waltia Roll, and just took that ball right away from her. Watch this. White strips it. She'll go to the free throw line when we come back to Raleigh. NC State up 5 here. Debbie, at the beginning of the broadcast, you talk about the big size advantage for North Carolina. Well, it hasn't made a difference so far. None
of their bigs in double figures. The guards for North Carolina doing most of the scoring. When you look at rebounds, North Carolina's +10. But here's something, Mike. We got 7.5 minutes to play. North Carolina's already taken 70 shots. NC State has taken 75. That's a lot of shots. North Carolina just has 19 offensive rebounds to NC State's 17. There's been a lot of missed shots in the game as well.
Yeah, NC State's taken 23 pointers. Hit 5 of them. Carolina also has 5 threes in the game. All 5 of them by Shayla White.
But the good thing for NC State is with them in the bonus early against the Tar Heels, they have a chance right here. Put some separation at the line.
White is 5 for 6 now for the free throw line. Hits 2 big ones. And the lead is back up to 7. State led by 12 at half. North Carolina came all the way back. Holston the rebound. Already a double-double tonight, just adding to it. White exploding to the bucket for 2.
Are you kidding me?
My goodness.
There's 4 blue jerseys back, and she elects to take it and score. What?
We've seen White all night tonight take that ball, just attack the bucket. Here's Lucas. Breland against Holston.
And there's a couple of seniors right now making plays for their teams. Amber White for NC State and Jessica Breland for North Carolina.
Breland now in double figures with 10 points. With Lucas ice cold, they're going to need Breland down the stretch of this game. Kostanek. She's not been hitting her shot, but Cody Burke, the freshman, with the rebound and the putback.
Weak side rebound, collect off the glass.
North Carolina did fight back and took the lead at 55-54. Since then, it's been all NC State. Numbers here. Goodwin Coleman in position, and that's going to be a foul on North Carolina. It's going to be on Laura Broomfield, her second.
That's a break for NC State because North Carolina did a good job forcing the jumper by Maisha Goodwin Coleman. The numbers were in NC State's advantage in that transition opportunity. But they didn't get the bucket. Now they go to the line, they got to earn it.
Since North Carolina led the game, NC State has outscored the Tar Heels 15-4.
There's your counterpunch to the North Carolina run.
And how cool and calm has Maisha Goodwin Coleman been at the line, the freshman from Wharton, Virginia, running this team.
One left, one.
You know, it's interesting, the demeanor for NC State. Their team has been that, whereas North Carolina hasn't shown any sense of urgency yet.
8 points for Goodwin Coleman, who has her 7th straight start here tonight.
And Mike, NC State still no turnovers in the second half.
Only 2 in the first.
2 turnovers against North Carolina.
The run is now 16-4. Lucas.
Tough shot.
Whistling a foul on NC State. But Italy Lucas now still 0 from behind the arc.
You know, if I'm Shea Shagag, I'm looking at those North Carolina guards right now, and I'm saying, look, I am working. I am getting position. Give me a chance to shape up.
Lead back in double digits. Ruffin Pratt tried to get Shagag. Threw it away. And Sylvia Hatchell is not happy. The lead was 12 at halftime. It's 11 now.
Full court pressure by North Carolina. Sylvia Hatchell calls it 41. So Tara DeGraffenried has a safety behind the pressure. Make sure NC State doesn't get an easy one going long.
Amber White trying to do just that. Cody Burke just kind of threw it up there. It'll belong to Carolina.
And as much as we just talked about poise and composure, Amber White, I'm not sure about that trip. She gave Cody Burke the ball in a position where she couldn't do anything with it.
This has been a very short NC State bench. They've done this tonight basically with 7 players. Kelsey Littress has played a couple of minutes, but not very much. On a hot night in Reynolds. Cross.
Oh, nice.
Shagag, great pass. They didn't finish.
Great pass. Good execution. You get the shot that you want. It's a layup.
At this point in the game, Debbie, you got to finish that. Amber White.
You look at NC State come right back and answer. When you think North Carolina has a chance to gain a little momentum, NC State makes a play.
16 points in the game for Amber White. This the largest lead of the second half for North Carolina State. It was 12 at halftime.
Look at Shea Shagag, palms up, looking at her guard saying, get me the ball. Now there's 5 on the shot clock.
Lucas has to take the deep shot. Partially blocked by Cody Burke. NC State a bucket here. This place is going to explode. Burke. Against Shagag, she's fouled. Fourth foul on Shea Shagag. 4:05 left, Debbie, and now time very much in favor of NC State. Burke only a little over 50% from the line, but looked pretty good there. Now with 12 points.
Now you don't see any communication by the Tar Heels. You don't see anybody talking. You see everybody looking around. They've still got a chance right here.
Williams and Kostanek back into the lineup. Amber White's going to get a break before that 4-minute media timeout.
I think this is what Sylvia Hatchell has worried about regarding her team last year and this year. Leadership. Who's the voice?
The senior here, DeGraffenried. She explodes to the bucket and is fouled. So Tara DeGraffenried trying to give this team some leadership. She'll go to the free throw line when we come back. But NC State is in control right now. North Carolina in a little trouble here. 3:47 left. Give NC State credit as we take a look at our Geico game summary. NC State led by 12 at the break, and they have withstood North Carolina's run and built a run of their own. 19-4 run here in the second half.
Couple that with a 21-0 run in the first half, and NC State has been in control of this basketball game. Now, for North Carolina, pressure, turnovers. They haven't caught NC State up once in the second half. NC State just has 2 for the whole game.
No steals on the part of North Carolina. NC State has 9. And so Tara DeGraffenried to the line. got the school record for free throws made. And these are big ones.
Now here comes the pressure, and North Carolina has got to generate stops.
Amber White still on the bench, so it's Kostanek and Maisha Goodwin-Coleman who will break that pressure.
And Mike, NC State has played with poise. They have made good choices.
Williams explodes to the bucket.
And that's a great choice. Off the double team.
You don't expect that from the freshman who has played limited minutes over the last.
But I don't think North Carolina needs to just settle for that. Watch Breezy Williams right here. Comes out on the baseline. Here comes the double. Satara de Graffenried. But if you're going to bring the double, Krista Gross cannot give up baseline. And that allows Breezy to breeze right on by.
Debbie, give her some credit. Against Virginia Tech, she did not score and only played 6 minutes. Her minutes have been cut way down because of performance. But obviously, she's hung with it. Her head's not been down, and she has played great here in the second half. And Amber White's up. She's going to come back in for NC State. Got a nice break. Breezy Williams will go to the bench.
And the first time we've seen Latifah Coleman for North Carolina, Mike's defensive substitutions for Sylvia Hatchell.
Well, Latifah not known as a scorer, only a couple of field goals in ACC play. White to the bucket. Amber White now with 18.
Offensive. NC State's Kelly Harper has put together quite a little team here. Little is the understatement. They are small at every position.
Timeout has been called. This is the largest lead of the game now for NC State. And our Wendy's fast break is the play that gave them this lead.
Watch right here, Amber White in transition while North Carolina is bringing the all-out pressure. The NC State guards have played magnificently. 2 turnovers in 37 minutes of play against a team that considers defense something they hang their hat on.
And again, North Carolina came back from a 12-point deficit to take the lead here in the second half at 55-54. But now here's the largest lead of the game at 16 for the Wolfpack. Broomfield got a hand on it. NC State still with just 2 turnovers in the game.
Oh, they're going to say,
amazing.
Mike, they're going to say Broomfield didn't get a hand on it.
Oh, she did not.
5 turnovers. Wow, they just turned it over a 3rd time.
Broomfield did not touch it. Carolina with an opportunity here.
NC State switching on everything.
Inside Shagog. Now if you're North Carolina, you got to get stops as Sylvia Hatchell calls a timeout. We are under 3 minutes to play. Shagog only with 5 points in the game.
Well, Mike, NC State with a 12-point halftime lead, and North Carolina actually cut into that and took the lead at one point. But NC State has responded to everything North Carolina has thrown at them, including being undersized on the front line and being out-rebounded all game.
What a start to the final week of the regular season in ACC play. Our AT&T around the ACC. This is what's coming up on Thursday, and I think you're going to see some games maybe just as good as this one.
I like that Florida State-Miami game. I'm looking forward to that one, as well as Georgia Tech going on the road to play North Carolina. And Georgia Tech beat North Carolina earlier this year.
North Carolina with just 1 timeout remaining, and now the Tar Heels are going to foul. They foul Cody Burke, who's just a 51% free throw shooter, and I've got that's 5 fouls on Shea Shagog. Shigok fouls out with 5 points. Seven rebounds to her credit.
Frustration.
Breland's back in, and Burke with a chance to make some big free throws here. Burke, a freshman out of Northridge, California, started the first 9 games of the year, then came off the bench. And we haven't mentioned too much the injuries for NC State, but Devin Griffin, who started the entire season, has not been available for the last 4 games. Tia Bell, of course, got hurt in the first game of the year. It's a really short bench for NC State. They have played hard and together.
A lot of what Cody Burke has done for Kelly Harper isn't going to show up in the stat sheet tonight because she has had to muscle and fight. A taller front line for North Carolina all game. Defensive substitution again for Sylvia Hatchell. They've got to get steals.
Boy, a lot of contact there. A collision.
If you're NC State, you got to be strong right here with the basketball. You know North Carolina's trying to pick it. Watch these two get locked up right here.
DeGraff and Reed tried to pick Cody Burke's pocket. That foul's going to be on Burke. It's her second. 2:41 left. This clock cannot run fast enough for that lady, Kelly Harper.
Well, you start to creep in thoughts of the Duke game when you had that 1-1 here and Duke pulled it away at the end. And you don't want to have that same thing happen. So you got to stay aggressive and strong with the basketball.
North Carolina's going to foul now, and Amber White will come down to the free throw line.
What a great job Kelly Harper did preparing her team. Number 13, North Carolina, and NC State doesn't have a win over a ranked team this season.
NC State 2-9 in ACC play. Their only wins have been over Wake Forest and Virginia Tech, the 2 teams at the bottom of the league. White 7 for 10 from the free throw line.
As a matter of fact, Mike, NC State had that 5-game losing streak where they went through that gauntlet in the ACC where they had to play 4 out of 5 ranked teams.
They lost 8 straight ACC games, including, Debbie, a 4-overtime loss to Virginia that could really have demoralized this team.
And Sylvia Hatchell knew that this was a dangerous place to bring her team. She told us before the game.
DeGraff and Reed for 2.
This is who you want to handle. You want Amber White making choices right now for NC State. And North Carolina's going to back off and try to get stops.
White's going to drive it to the bucket. What a game she's had tonight. 21 points. This is her 5th game of the season that she's scored over 20.
She will not be denied heading to the rim.
North Carolina State has had an answer for every North Carolina run. 81 points up by North Carolina State.
NC State has gotten whatever they wanted offensively all night. And for North Carolina to decide that they want to get stops now, it's hard to do that.
Williams can't hit. Minute and a half to go. White is fouled, and if you're NC State, that's not what you want to do. Bonet Holston. Check it, that's on Breezy Williams, her first. Demi, when you look at the 2 games that these 2 teams played this year, the one in mid-January, which Carolina won, and then this one here tonight. What a difference for NC State. I got to give NC State just a lot of credit for their mental toughness.
I agree with you 100%. And look at Marissa Kostanek, 30 in the game over there, and struggled all game.
In your mind, Debbie, what has been the big difference in this game tonight for NC State?
I think poise and composure. And they hit shots when they were open. That 20-21 to zip run in the first half might have been the answer for both teams. North Carolina didn't respond, and NC State pulled away.
How do you explain a Tar Heel team that has so many players, as you said, over 6'3", 6'4", as you look at their remaining schedule? Georgia Tech, Duke in the ACC tournament, and NC State does not start a player over 6 feet. How do you explain it?
Can't explain it, except for we saw it in the Miami game when Katie Meyer took her club to Chapel Hill. And we're seeing it here tonight. They did not make it an emphasis or make it important to go inside early on.
All right, now you're North Carolina. What do you have to do now to get it back? To get back the way you were playing when you beat Duke?
Well, you had 8 days off to get ready for this one, so you had plenty of time to prepare. Now you're concerned if you're Sylvia Hatchell, because that finish is not easy. Georgia Tech at home at Duke. And the last time, Mike, as we talked about before, that NC State beat North Carolina in this building was that 07 night that the Kay Yow Court was named in Coach Yow's honor.
Matter of fact, in this series, North Carolina had won 19 of the last 22 meetings between these two teams.
You know what North Carolina needs to do? Is they need to play some defense. That's what they didn't do in the first half.
Amber White trying to let that clock run down, and Amber White's going to go back to the free throw line. NC State before they head to Greensboro in the ACC tournament. And remember, NC State has a history of shocking people at the tournament. Boston College at Wake Forest got to the championship game last year.
Remember last year in the ACC tournament, Kelly Harper did pack 4 suits. They needed to play 4 days in a row. And see, this is what North Carolina wanted to avoid. The top four seeds get a bye in the ACC tournament, and it is hard to win 4 games in a row.
A game high 23 points for Amber White. The crowd here feels this upset. Kostanek is fouled by Broomfield as we've got exactly a minute to play. And NC State up 13 with Marissa Kostanek, the sophomore, going to the line. And you're right, Debbie. You mentioned Marissa. She had 30 points when they played in mid-January. Only 6 points here tonight.
And she didn't make any threes, but she didn't quit playing. She moved on to the next play, which is important for a young player.
That's her first free throw of the night.
You know, I think Sylvia Hatchell has the same concern and question about her team now as she did when she came in the building. That is, who is going to be my leader? Maybe Shayla White can emerge as that based on her scoring ability tonight. But when the personality of your team doesn't have some sort of alpha out there, it hurts.
8 points for Kostanek despite going 0 for 6 from behind the arc. What a win this is going to be for Kelly Harper and the Wolfpack. Who would have thought it?
NC State thought it.
You're right. They believed.
So one thing Kelly Harper has remarked over and over about her team is she celebrates on the bench with a big smile, and that is that her kids have been resilient. They have fought through adversity. They have lost some close games. You mentioned the 4 overtimes, Mike. But they've never given in. They have believed and trusted everything Kelly Harper has prepared her team for.
At one time, they lost 8 straight ACC games. They had leads against Duke and lost. A lead against Maryland and lost. Lost a 4 overtime game to Virginia. But tonight, they're going to claim victory over the nation's 13th ranked team. I icing on the cake from Kostanek. The Graffenried is fouled. Aisha Goodwin-Coleman picks it up. Wow, an 18-point lead. NC State puts 88 on the board. And Kelly Harper is going to clear the bench with 24 seconds left.
With a couple of walk-ons. And there aren't any smaller players on anybody's roster in the ACC than these two.
Paige Woodard comes in, a former manager, number 12, at 5'2", and Kim Durham comes into the game. Amber White, Aisha Goodwin-Coleman. Well, now they're trying to decide to come out of the game. It's going to be Marissa Kostanek. And she gets a nice hand from the crowd.
What a reward for all the effort and the heartbreaking losses that NC State has suffered through this year. And for North Carolina, they got to fix it, but they've got time.
Fortunately, there are another couple of games in the ACC tournament. Shot clock is off. North Carolina's not going to foul now, and no need to take a shot for NC State. Wolfpack going to pull off an incredible upset here. 88-72 will be the final. They had a 21-0 run in the first half. A 12-point halftime lead that got erased. And the students are storming the court. Carolina had won 19 of 22 before tonight's game. And the last win on this floor, the emotional game in 2007, the night they named it the K-Yow Court. And for Kelly Harper, how sweet this has got to be. This is a team that could have folded very easily after all that's happened to them in ACC play. Debbie Antonelli is with the star of the game right now, Amber White.
She sure is the star, Mike. Congratulations, Amber. The 12-point lead at halftime. You knew North Carolina was going to make a run. What did you talk about at the break?
Well, first thing we wanted to tell everybody is just to be patient and do the things that we've been doing the whole game. And the biggest thing for us was boxing out. And we wanted to box out and play good defense.
Amber, it looked like you had one of those games tonight that you would not be denied on the way to the basket. What was working for you?
I just feel like they did such a good job on Marissa and Bonet and Maisha. So my job is to just keep attacking and just give them take what they give us.
Amber, you've had so many heartbreaking losses this year. What does this one mean in a rivalry game?
Oh, it means a lot. This is our rival, and when you come to state, this is what we talk about. They talk about playing against UNC, so this is great for our program and great win for my senior year.
Congratulations, Amber. Go celebrate with your teammates. Mike, get it back over to you.
All right, 23 points for Amber White. Kelly Harper making her way over to Debbie. We'll send it over to you now.
Emotional when you guys won the game. How's it feel to get one of these tough ones?
Well, you know what? We've been knocking on the door so many times, and our kids finished so strong. You know, we knew North Carolina was going to make a great run. They did, and our kids stayed steady. That was what we kept saying, be steady the whole game, and we did.
Did you learn anything new about your team today? You've been talking about their heart and character and their resilience all season.
They showed it, and they were finally rewarded with a big win.
Okay, how do you build on a win over North Carolina now moving forward with the remainder of your schedule?
Well, we've proven now that we can play with people. Now we've proven we can beat people. So hopefully our kids will grab some momentum moving forward and into the ACC tournament.
Congratulations, Kelly.
Thanks, David.
Back over to you, Mike.
Oh, that is a happy bunch of Wolfpack players. Look at that. Already dancing after the 88-72 upset over North Carolina. And what was most impressive was they were able to punch back after North Carolina made runs to tie and take the lead in the second half. Amber White leads the way with 23 points and a huge win for the NC State Wolfpack here in Raleigh. What a way to start the final week of the regular season. For Debbie Antonelli and our entire crew, Mike Hogwood here saying good night from Raleigh, North Carolina.